to match the 11 with Medeama on top of the table with 21 points. Heart of Lions, they are doing the business quietly. They are also second with 21 points. Aduana and Baby Gold Stars follow in suit in third and fourth. With Asante Kotoko lying fifth with 19 points. Heart of Folk are just a place below them with sixth position with 17 points. Samatex have 16. Young Apostles are 8th with 14. And Vision are 9th with 13 points at the moment. And this is the second half of the table. Karela, Dreams FC, Bechem, Chelsea all following in suit. And Bechem United, who will be playing in a few minutes' time, are 15th with 9 points. But the last three teams on the table include the likes of Swedro All Blacks. You see where Bechem United lie at the moment.
Yes.
3 points will be massive for them.
It will be massive for them, but then I believe Medeama can afford to drop points in this particular encounter because their next three fixtures promise to be a very difficult game for Medeama Sporting Club. After this game, they will go to Kumasi and play Kumasi Asante Kotoko. After Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they will come and sit home and play against Bechem Chelsea. You know, Bechem Chelsea is one of the few teams that has gotten a win at the TNA Sports Stadium ever since this particular stadium was commissioned on the 16th of August. Apart from Bechem Chelsea, Accra House of Folk and Park Academy, no other team has recorded a win over Medeama Sporting Club at this TNA stadium. So I believe playing against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, playing against Bechem Chelsea, who happens to be the only team, one of the two teams that has gotten 3 points over Medeama here, I believe it is going to be a difficult game for Medeama Sporting Club. And they will go away to Team Gold Stars, so they can't afford to drop points in this particular encounter.
Now, talking about some substitutions that have been made, for the first time in a long time, we have Augustine Okra actually starting from the bench.
Sure. I believe when Coach Issa was around, he was playing Augustine Okra, but the goals were not forthcoming. I mean, after some 10 games, they've scored just 4 goals. And I believe it is very, 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 very abysmal performance from the camp of Bechem United. And I believe sitting out Augustine Okra, as experienced as he is, maybe I believe he will just monitor the game from the bench and then make sure he learn a thing or two so that when he comes on in the second half, he can just give the kill to Medeama Sporting Club.
Okay, the two teams are ready in the tunnel and are ready to come out and do battle. It is Medeama against Bechem United live on TV3 and on Nuya TV, powered by Adisa Production Limited. I hand you over to our team of commentators, Nana Dakwa Jesse and Kelvin Owusu-Ansah.
And last Saturday at the TNA Stadium in Takwa, it's match day 11 of the Ghana Premier League between the league leaders Medeama Sporting Club and visiting Bechem United. Medeama coming to this game from a 2-1 win away last weekend against 11 Wonders in Legon. Bechem equally trying to lift themselves from the bottom ranks of the league following a win over the opponent Samatex last weekend. It's a beautiful weather for football this afternoon here in Takwa as Medeama hope to continue their fine form. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse, together with Kelvin Owusu-Ansah. We are your commentators for this afternoon's Premier League game here in Takwa.
An interesting game to behold. Medeama SC want to continue their stride in getting to the top of the Ghana Premier League table as they chase the title. For Bechem United, it is still an opportunity for them to bounce back after a disastrous start to the season.
Medeama have turned up in a dominant yellow and purple jerseys, and Bechem United have dominant purple jerseys here at the TNA in Takwa. The last time they visited this venue, Medeama pummeled them. They lost by 3-1 in their last visit to the TNA against the current league leaders, Medeama Sporting Club. They are bent on replicating the feat that saw them win the Premier League and subsequently going on to represent Ghana in the African Champions League some 3 seasons ago, Medeama Sporting Club. For Bechem United, the primary objective now for new coach Kobna Emisa is to lift the team from where they currently lie on the league log. They are just 1 place above the relegation zone and it's not looking good for the Hunters. The big question is, can they break Medeama's unbeaten and 100% winning streak here at the TNA?
Well, that is going to be a wonder for them. It's going to be quite interesting, but wait to see if they can surmount that hurdle.
Medeama, they've made just a few changes to the team that won last weekend against 11 Wonders. Mubarak Yusuf returns to start. Rich Saki drops to the bench. Yabua also starts at left back, and there's also a place for Nkrumah and then Owusu, who joined the Black Stars for those 2 friendly games in Asia. But the usual suspects in midfield, Jack Basu, Salim Adams, and Fuzi, are being started by Ibrahim Tanko.
Well, sport for choice. He has enough quality. He has the squad depth to select any player to be able to represent his team on any particular day. And I'm sure he understands the dynamics within the team to put up that midfield pair of Salim and then Fitz Taylor.
Volta Regional-based referee Rustum Senogbe is the centre man for this afternoon. He's assisted by Peter Dosa and Abdullah Al-Hassan. The 4th referee is Franklin Akumate. But this is the Bechem United lineup. They've made just 2 changes to the team. That one against Samatex. Foster Sakite comes in to replace Boat Regan. Kofi Tompo is out, and Derek Efrie is in his place. Dalvin Yeboah is leading the attack alongside Ano Yeboah for Bechem United this afternoon. Aban is playing right behind Yeboah for Coach Emisa.
It's quite interesting to see his lineup. He's gradually getting a firm hold of the team, making sure the players who merit, if it's about building a team and restoring their confidence, he's one who is well noted for restructuring teams. Let's see if he can do that with Bechem United. Lots of experience and youth, a mixed bag he has to carefully deal with.
Bechem United have brought in 2 new coaches, 1 head coach, 1 assistant, Kobne Emisa, and former Black Stars player Malam Yaya, to steer the affairs of the club following their disastrous start to the Premier League season. It's Medeama who kicks off this afternoon's game here at the TNA in Takwa.
Well, there's a lot to behold.
Salam gets us going for this afternoon's fixture here at the TNA. It's Medeama Sporting Club, the league leaders, against 15th place Bechem United here in Takwa. Here's Adam Sanout for Bechem United. Flag goes up. Early call for that offside against Abdul Salam, who is leading the attack for Medeama this afternoon.
Very clear intent, very strong. He's very mobile. They'll like to play right through him.
Medeama have a player down. Not looking good for Jacob Amumensa. Seems to have suffered from a late contact from the Bechem United attacker. It was Dalvin Yeboah who got involved in that action against Amumensa. Isaiah Nyako. Jakasu. Salim Adams can't get to Fuzi. Here is Sanout. Prince also went down from the late challenge from Sanout as a free kick for Medeama.
That was a high foot there, intelligent play there from Prince Owusu. He's very quick. Nearly stole that ball, but that high foot from Sanout. Poor first touch, ricocheting off his body, and once the ball was up, he had to kick Owusu's knee.
Also returned from Japan and Korea just yesterday, and he's joined the team for this game. Here is Owusu. He's got the World Cup high on his mind after impressing coach Otoado. He's been called up in the last 4 games of the Black Stars, Owusu.
While he didn't have pretty much a very good game, but clearly Medeama, he's the one who makes things work for them. He's expected to bring that bag of experience from an international football.
Attempted free kick in by Fuzi. Good job done by the wall on that occasion.
Well, you see Frank Amankwa trying everything within his mind. His brother, Emmanuel Aban, but he came off worse.
Mensah. Poya Boato and Nkrumah. Here is Salim Adams. Mubarak Yusuf. Fuzi. One thing that has been associated with Medeama's football this season has been how they've been dominant in possession and the ability to retrieve the ball when they lose it to their opponents.
That's coming from a coach who once played and had lots of training from Borussia Dortmund. He knows exactly how it takes to play wonderfully and win as well.
Kelvin Nkrumah unable to control that ball, gifting Bechem United the throw, and here's the champion. Dalvin Yeboah. Kelvin Nkrumah takes possession from Medeama. Another player who returned from the Black Stars camp in Japan and Korea for those international friendlies. He's also been called up by Coach Max Okonedu for the National Under-20 campaign exercise. Kelvin Nkrumah is enjoying an amazing season.
Has never looked back since his days at the National Under-13 Championship that is always powered every year until the last 3 years. And he's actually blossomed.
Kamaradini Mahmoudou switching to Kelvin Nkrumah. Well defended by Bechem United. Derek Afriye. Here's Kelvin Nkrumah. Yeboah. Abdul Salam. But Bechem United will take possession. There's good play from Emmanuel Aban. Checks on to the right, and here's Yawano. He's up against Mensah, and Mensah takes possession easily for Medeama.
Very good cover and defensive work there from Mensah, stopping him right in his tracks.
Ano stays onside, chance for Bechem United. Clever defending from Mubarak Yusuf, and Felix Chade responds really well for the home side.
Intelligent play right there from Ano. Intelligent play from Ano, but fortunately, that decision to play the cut back wasn't right. You can clearly see he got into the box very well. Mensah was chasing shadows, but Yusuf Mubarak as the captain right there to slide and make that interception. Experience overload. I think that was needless from the goalkeeper. Could have attracted a yellow card easily. It's early days yet in the game. You need to keep your tempers cool.
Aban. It's a good run on the left-hand side by Foster Sakite. Trying to square one in the middle. The Medeama take charge. Is Fuzi to Jack Pasu. He sees the movement of Kelvin Nkrumah, but it's just too much for the young star to arrive and pounce on.
You can clearly see the game plan of Bechem United. Try to stifle Medeama in that midfield. Very little space and time for them to maneuver their way.
Here is Frank Amankwa surging forward in confidence. It's a good ball trying to find Ano. Amu Mensah steps up for Medeama and finds Felix Shea, but the flag had already gone up for offside against Dalvin Yeboah.
Well, trademark rant from Yawano. And if you know the previous Yawano who caught control of the league the last couple of years, he stems from the same blood. So bloodline executing what his elder brother used to do in the league years ago, but he's not a good finisher as the elder one. He's young though, you never know.
The big question is whether he decides to represent Ghana if he hits his peak or switch to nearby Togo like his more established elder brother did a couple of years ago. Here is Prince Owusu trying to find Jack Pasu. Now Abdul Salam. Drive from Salim Adams. That was close. That's a trademark effort from Salim Adams.
Very brilliant piece of play there from Prince Owusu. He managed to get right onto Salim. And Salam right there, making sure he placed it on a plate for Salim. And look at that drive. Came unexpectedly, but it was just tearing away from the goalpost painfully.
Salim has got that in his locker. He's already backed the goal for Medeama this season. Fuzi. That's brilliant from Fuzi. Now Jakpasu loses possession. Salim will step up for Medeama. Fuzi, cut ball watching. Isaiah Nyako for Bechem United. He's got a nod to the right. Turns around beautifully. Here is Amankwa. Isaiah Nyako. Salim brings him down. It's a good call by Rustum Senogbe. Free kick for Bechem United.
And it's quite difficult for Fuzi Taylor. He doesn't have the luxury of time, and that is forcing him to give the balls away. Once Bechem get control, they have very good players on the ball. It's either Aban or the captain Isaiah Nyako or Yao Ano, making sure they find their way through. And that was technical there from Salim. He knew exactly the danger that would have fallen to the defense and the goalkeeper. He had allowed Isaiah to make a further step closer to the goalkeeper's area.
Free kick taken by Nyako, but he rises above the goalpost and goes out for a goal kick.
Well, the idea was clearly to go to the top right corner, but it was poorly executed. Always rising.
Salim.
Medeama trying everything within their might to get very good control of the game, but it's not transpiring the way they had expected it to start.
Yosef Prince Owusu. It's 10 minutes at the TNA Stadium in Takwa. Medeama nil, Bechem United nil. Kelvin and Kroma goes down from the challenge of Ano. Late call, but good call from Senogbe.
Yes, very good cover of the ball there from Paul Yeboah. Looks like Ano clearly won the ball. But is that tackle on Yeboah that resulted in Rustum whistling for a foul? Very good Moradin left back, always joining the attack to create channels.
Prince Owusu delivers. Salim unable to make a clean contact, and the whistle goes. Bechem will have the advantage. And I see our champion going down, the centre back.
It was clearly a push. You can call it a badge right onto his back there by Salam. Referee was right there to make the call.
Bechem United are 15th on the Premier League table with just 9 points. They've won 2 times this season, 3 draws and 5 defeats. Bechem United have conceded 10 goals and scored a paltry 8 in 10 Premier League games. It's not looking good for them. And these results, the main reason they decided to part ways with their coach Boche to replace him with Kobna Emisa, the man on your screens right now. He has been tagged as an expert in rescuing teams who are struggling. Sometimes he's credited with helping with the promotion of teams into the Ghanaian top flight. Something he's done with a couple of clubs. He's done it with Bechem Chelsea, secondly Azakes. He's done it with Bibiani Gold Stars as well. This time, he's expected to keep Bechem United's season on track. Kobna Emisa.
It's quite surprising how he manages to qualify from the Division 1, but he hasn't really been a regular when it comes to top flight football. hopefully he stays longer and is impactful in his new role at Bechem United.
He's also credited with qualifying Elmina Sharks back in 2016, Kobne Misa. He left the Home Stars job in the Division 1 League to join Bechem United following the sacking of Boche on the 3rd of November. 2 games under his watch, a win and a defeat, with a win coming last weekend against Samatex at the Nanafo Sujiabo Park in Bechem.
There's a lot under his sleeve. He holds lots of experience.
Fuzi, Salim Adams. Here is Yaboa. Mubarak Yusuf. Here is Fuzi. Now Prince Owusu. The target is Kelvin and Nkrumah. Good control to find Yaboa. Lovely, but Nkrumah will have to step up and rescue the situation for Medeama. He can't go past Ano. Tried to nutmeg him. Salim wins possession. Here comes Fuzi. Poor pass from Fuzi.
It's quite interesting. Salim winning the balls, but Fuzi giving them back to the opponent easily. A lot of unforced mistakes from him. That is actually affecting their control of the game. You can clearly see Salim getting a little bit frustrated with his midfield partner for how he's letting go possession.
Kelvin Nkrumah with a lovely touch to go past his marker. Here is Nkrumah. He's up against the champon. Swings in across. Salam with a header. And it's straight to Esiedu. Good play from Medeama.
Very excellent play there from Nkrumah. Brilliant control down the left-hand side. Getting into the edge of the penalty area. He knew he had 2 men who had blocked the channel. Went in with a cross. Salam, not the tallest of players, but he jammed. Couldn't work his neck muscles to apply enough power. And that is not going to be the Siedu.
Mubarak Yusuf. Abdul Salam with a solo run. He goes down right before referee Rostum Senogbe. Free kick Medeama.
Very workaholic player. He knows how to find his way through. That was very clever of him. Isaiah had already committed. That is not questionable. It's a good call.
Free kick for Medeama. Fuzi Taylor to take. Taylor delivers. Kamara Dini's header goes wide as a goal kick.
That was a very decent free kick in there. Kamara Dini was always going to leap for that. The leap was great. It was totally on mark. But that header off target.
Kamara Dini Mahmoudou. He's already scored 2 goals this season. One important member of this Medeama Sporting Club side, Kamara Dini Mahmoudou. 65 appearances for Medeama now. Some 15 goals to his credit. An amazing player. A couple of months ago, he was receiving consistent call-ups to the Black Stars, and I'm sure he'll be hoping that he gets it right to attract the attention of the national team selectors like his mates Nkrumah and Owusu have done recently.
Well, that is an area, a position he can clearly find his way through. It remains consistent and ups his game a little bit. Haven't had a solid, no player has had a solid control of Ghana's right back position. And he's in good contention for it.
Jacob Amu-Mensah. Owusu. Fuzi. Not a good ball from Fuzi, and Ano takes advantage. Here is Bechem United's Imano. Nope, he gets it wrong. Yao Ano was trying to create that path for solid delivery, but his effort not impressive enough.
Quite disappointing with the end product. Ali should have been on target, or possibly found Dalvin, who was already inside the penalty area. You can't be wasting these chances.
Mubarak Yusuf is trying to find Salam, but ball goes straight to Esedu. Mensa Fuzi. Poor ball from Amu Mensah. Nkrumah would not give up. Salam steps up. Esedu is in trouble. Nearly gave it away. Bechem United have got some defending to do. A Champon invited a challenge, but he wouldn't get a foul he was aiming at. Throw into Medeama.
Very good press there from Salam, making sure that goalkeeper Esedu felt uncomfortable. And in the end, Babamaru Abdullah also pushing the ball out of play. That's what you need from a striker as the first man of defense.
Prince Owusu tries to pick out Kamara Dini Mahmoudou. The idea was good. Probably weren't on the same page with each other.
We clearly see the intent, wanting to get the ball back quickly. Kamara Dini was running into a very good position, but unfortunately, it was beautifully read by Bechem United, who plugged that space.
Fuzi is losing a lot of the balls this afternoon in midfield. Good defending from Abdullah to deny Salam that route to cause problems.
It's been a balanced game so far, though most of the most glaring chances is falling to Medeama. Bechem haven't failed.
20 minutes at the TNA Stadium in Takwa. Match day 11 of the Ghana Premier League. Medeama Sporting Club, 0. Bechem United, 0. The foul on Amankwa by God knows Jakwasu.
Amankwa clearly left off the hook there. They lost the ball. God knows, got to the ball quicker. So Ibrahim Tanko will be thinking why his midfield is a bit loose. Lots of poorly completed passes from his team. That is not the signature identified with Medeama this season.
Foul against Salim. It goes in the favor of Salim instead, and Amankwa thought it was going the opposite direction. That's the exchange of words between Rustum and Amankwa. So that's the incident. An initial tackle from Jakwasu. Then Salim steps up. Maybe Amankwa might have a fair case, to be fair.
Well, I think he has a very good case. It was a badge into him, and he fell. It wasn't like he had the intent of grabbing the ball. I'm sure that is what Rustum may be thinking, given the free kick instead to Medeama.
Salim and Owusu over it. Salim goes for power, and it's an impressive drive from Salim Adams, just rising and going over the top for a goal kick.
He wasn't too far. He's a good technician of that. Went in with enough power, but it wasn't quick to drop right there. Esedu seemed to have had it covered, but he had to jump the whole length between the crossbar and the goal line to try save that end. He seemed to have landed awkwardly and is in pain.
The Bechem United goalkeeper stays down after that attempted save of that free kick from Salim Adams. The medical team quickly attends to him, and the two sets of coaches will take the advantage of the break to put some words across. That's the effort from Salim Adams. Always rising and never dipping in time.
There's a master of that. He knows how to hit the ball very well. Probably not the consistent rate you would want him to be finding the target, but you must always be wary of that.
Medeama are current league leaders of the Ghana Premier League. 21 points, 6 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat, 15 goals scored in the process and only 6 conceded. And at this venue at the TNA, Medeama have won 4 games and drawn 1 in 5, scoring 10 goals and conceding 3 in the process. They've amassed 13 points in Takwa, and that makes this contest a tricky one for Bechem United, who have lost in all their 5 games away from home in the season's Premier League. They are the joint worst away performing team in the Premier League alongside 11 Wonders.
They've been brilliant when it comes to developing talent and playing the league every season, but it looks like this season hasn't been the regular order for them. They need to dig deeper if they want to stay in Ghana's top flight.
Esiedu gets the ball away for Bechem. Dalvin Yabua loses the battle against Mubarak Yusuf. Here is Kelvin Nkrumah. Yabua. Jacob Mensah. He seemed to be the consistent one in that central defensive role for Ibrahim Tanko. On the return of Mubarak Yusuf is Ritsaki, who dropped to the bench, and Amu Mensah gets to partner the returning Mubarak Yusuf, who last featured for the club on match day 5 in that 2-1 win here against Dreams FC. He's been out in the last couple of weeks. He only made a 90-minute cameo appearance last week against Wonders. Now here is Fuzi, Kamaruddini, Salim Adams, Kelvin Nkrumah, Owusu. Ball is cleared away by the Bechem United right back.
A number of poor touches there from Owusu in trying to control the ball. And he's been giving the ball away in very crucial moments when Medeama are constructing very dangerous attacks.
Medeama dominating possession, but yet to create any meaningful goal-scoring opportunities. Nkrumah finds Yabua. Nkrumah goes in with a killer, but it's blocked by the right back of Friye. Now it's Fuzi. He wins a foul for Medeama. Quickly taken. Here is Owusu. Chance for Medeama. Kamaruddini shoots. It's saved, and Medeama unable to put the ball on the back of the net. Nkrumah's effort deflects, and it goes outside for a Medeama corner.
That was a brilliant piece of play there from Medeama. Brilliant pass to find Kamaruddini inside the penalty area. He hesitated. Prince Owusu once again. But that awkward bounce, Kamaruddini had credit to the goalkeeper. See, once he got in there, Yahweh Champo couldn't allow Salam to pounce on the rebound. Brilliant piece of play from Medeama. An excellent goalkeeping and defensive work from Bechem United.
Corner for Medeama. They've started asking questions of the Bechem United defense. It's Fuzi to take the corner. Bends one to the near post. Amu Mensah allows the ball to roll over for another corner for Medeama.
That was a very brilliant corner kick taken there by Fuzi. But good defensive work once again coming from Bechem. They are not ready to concede.
Prince Owusu to take the corner. Owusu's corner Nkrumah arrives and tries to take it on a volley. He falls to Prince Owusu. He's up against Arno. He swings in across. Away again by Bechem United, but referee Senogbe whistles. Bechem have a player down. Yawe Champon is complaining that someone uses elbow on him. So it was Mubarak Yusuf who made that late contact with the Bechem United number 5.
Exactly, it doesn't look intentional. He was just landing from, trying to connect to that delivery. Champon just taking advantage of that contact. And he's been liberated by referee Rostum. Medeama doing all the questioning, Bechem doing all the answering.
So 8 fouls, Bechem 6 Medeama. Physical contest between these two. This afternoon, here is Nkrumah. Sends in a cross, Abdul Salam is arriving, but it's clever defending coming from the Bechem United centre-back Baba Mora Abdullahi.
That was a dangerous cross, right, dipping in front of the defender, bouncing in front of him. But Baba did justice to it.
Salim Adams shows great strength against Isaiah Nyako. Calm and composed Salim. Kamaradini goes back to his goalkeeper Felix Che, who recently signed an extension. He signs a 2-year deal for Medeama following his 6-year spell with the club.
One of the top goalkeepers you have in the league. You cannot allow him to run down his contract easily. His leadership qualities also great for Medeama. It's hard to come by quality and leadership from a showstopper.
This new contract allows him to stay here till the 2029 season since arriving in 2023. Nkrumah's delivery. Salam controls. Can he get one in? Salam shoots his block. Prince Owusu is turning around the 18-yard box. He shoots and he takes a deflection and is coolly collected by Benjamin Asiedu.
Nkrumah causing all the problems down the left flank for Medeama. Whipped in a beautiful cross. Salam's early control letting him down. But very good block there from Foster Sakite, and Owusu's delivery like the venom by the deflection helping goalkeeper Asiedu to pick it up as a routine save.
We've hit the half-hour mark of the game. It's 30 minutes at the TNA Stadium in Tarkwa. Medeama Sporting Club nil, Bechem United nil. Here is Mubarak Yusuf, Owusu, Salam, Fuzi. Jack Basu controls really well. He's got a champion to beat. Good play from Jack Basu. Owusu, Kamaradini. Amu Mensah has got options on the left-hand side. Kelvin Nkrumah is arriving for it. He's trying to go past Yawano and wins the throw-in the process. Nkrumah. He's been trending over the last few days following that famous picture with Korean legend Heung-min Son after the Black Stars game against the Koreans in that international friendly.
Well, it was quite interesting to see, and especially for a player that depicts his role.
Owusu's Keller in. A free hit. Unable to deal with it appropriately is a Medeama throw-in.
That was an unconventional way of whipping the ball through with the outside of his foot.
Kelvin Nkrumah, that's clever defending from a free hit. Was Arno who had to track back and help in that defensive duties. Didn't give Nkrumah any breathing space whatsoever. Clever play from Arno.
Very good play there from him, making sure that there was virtually no space and no opportunity for Nkrumah to latch onto that beautiful pass from Yeboah.
Fuzi to take the corner. He bends one to the near post. Is another corner for Medeama Sporting Club.
Very dangerous corner kick, whip right onto the near post. But our referee knew exactly how to deal with that. Sending it back into touch for a corner kick.
Fuzi delivers. Good goalkeeping from Esiedu. Owusu with a drive. He can afford to acrobatically display some antics, but he's ended up conceding a corner kick again, Esiedu. But Senogbe seems to have rescinded the decision, and it's a goal kick. The reaction from the Bechem United players told it all.
Very good goalkeeping there from Benjamin Esiedu, punching it out, though he was back into play. Print did not have a very good touch to it, but it looked like Bechem United actually got the final touch to send the ball out of play for a corner kick.
In the meantime, Yahweh Champon has gone down again, the Bechem United centre-back. He's been at the end of some physical contests this afternoon. Earlier on, he went down from the challenge of Mubarak Yusuf, and he's got to be treated for the second time in the game this afternoon. Yahweh Champon.
That's something the medical team cannot joke with. Second time, looks like a head injury. They quickly need to restore him to his pace.
Frank Amankwa, and on his bike, he's got Amu Mensah to contend with. Here is Yawana. He's all alone, and he does what to pick out Frank Amankwa. And now with a cross. The ball had gone out before the Bechem United player made the contact. Foster Sakite was a shed late.
Well, I know, not with a very good whip on the ball there. It was too heavy, and Sakiti had pressure from Kamaldeen.
Jack Basso's ball was meant for Yaboa, but too much on it for the left back to get on to.
They will not appreciate that. We would have expected to see Calvin Nkrumah in that space, but unfortunately, he's on the other side of the pitch.
Bechem United have lost in their last 5 games against Medeama in Takwa. Kelvin and Nkrumah have switched flanks with Emmanuel Owusu, with Prince Owusu. Emmanuel is on the bench this afternoon. Prince Owusu moves to the left-hand side, and Nkrumah diverts to the right side. Here is Baba. Dalvin Yabo has gone quiet, but he does so to find Sakite. That's a heavy push from Salim Adams. He wasn't going to go free with that heavy push on the Bechem United attacker.
That was so heavy. It was clearly a badge into Emmanuel Laban, who had very good space in front of him. If he had picked that ball, I think Salim knew exactly what he was doing.
Augustine Okra, the Bechem United captain, on the bench this afternoon. One time MVP of the Ghanaian Premier League and top scorer. This is just about his 3rd stint with Bechem United, having played for stellar clubs like Al Hilal, Al Marik, Young Africans and all. Isaiah Nyako steps up Sakite, his effort is blocked. But it's Emmanuel Aban now. Flag has gone up. It's offside against Bechem United.
Clearly, that was a very bad decision there. More like a training ground routine, but couldn't go as expected. You clearly see you're already in an offside position even before the free kick was taken. That was poor decision there from Aban.
Bechem United with 2 shots and Medeama having 1 pop at goal. But the dominance of Medeama seemed to be the talking point. And the fact is, when are they going to translate that into goal scoring? That's a signs of frustration from Abdul Salam following how he lost the ball initially to Baba.
Baba knew exactly what he had done. Salam know with the best of controls. Baba beautifully won the ball in that sliding challenge. But once he recovered, barging into his man, it looked more like a retaliation. And Baba just had to go down. Good call by Rastun.
Yeboah gives away possession and Amankwa swings one to the right and finds Yao Ano. Goes past Yeboah, but Amumensan steps up to rescue Medeama. Obin has gone back to the left-hand side of attack and he comes up against a free air. Uncharacteristically gives the ball away, Kelvin Nkrumah.
They're expecting a better pass to find Japasu, but that wasn't a clean one from him.
Sakite goes down from the challenge of Owusu. Fuzi fouled by Amankwa. Referee is insisting the ball should be repositioned and taken again.
The whistle had already gone. Very good turn there from Fuzi, but he's trying to do too much. Always caught in problems, but he's a risk taker. You cannot fault him for that. Just that he needs to be a bit quicker in moving the ball.
He loves to control at his own convenience. He loves to dictate the pace of the game at his own will. Something he's learned from his days at Accra Lions, where he played under Ibrahim Tanko.
You can understand he's a player he knows well, he trusts to deliver from in that midfield.
"40 minutes at the Accra, at the TNA in Takwa."
That was a very strong challenge coming in from Mubarak there, making sure Dalvin Yeboah felt that heat. He's very much experienced. He knew how to win the ball and also make sure the impact was felt by Dalvin Yeboah, who wanted to win possession. But that seems to be a lift of the stats there, leaving some marks on Dalvin.
Mubarak Yusuf knew exactly what could result from this tackle. Quickly had to apologize to Dalvin.
Good show of sportsmanship there.
40 minutes and it's still goalless in Takwa. Here is Kelvin Nkrumah, twisting and turning down the left-hand side. Fuzi, good ball to find Yeboah. He sends a cross, but that's poor. It's awful.
Extremely disappointing from Paul Yeboah. He wanted a one-time whip, but the ball was always going to come off his shin. He's quite disappointed himself not to have been able to create a chance from that range.
Medeama are unbeaten in their last 7 Premier League games. The only defeat of the season coming against Karela away in Tamale. And interestingly, referee Rustum Senogbe was in charge of the game between Medeama and Karela in a game that Medeama suffered their only and first defeat of the Premier League season. Here is Nkrumah down the left-hand side. He goes past Ano. He's up against the free air. He finds Yeboah. Mensah. Adams. Bechem United, not trouble there. A free air gives the ball away to Fuzi. Yeboah. Nkrumah They are doing all in terms of possession and dictating the pace of the game at the expense of Bechem United, but they ain't creating any better goal-scoring chances, and Sakite will take on his man, Aban. Lovely tackle from Salim Adams. It's a fair challenge from Salim.
Brilliant from Salim. He's done well to cover the defense. Very good run and recovery from the central midfielder. As you can see,
For Rostam Senogbe, holds play for the Bechem United attacker to be attended to. Aban was on his bike trying to go past Salim, but this is a clean tackle from Salim.
it was more than clean. Beautiful slide. His eyes were just on the ball, and his foot just managed to control the ball. Aban was just looking forward to the fall, and he's gone down to it. You can clearly see he seems to be in pain. I'm sure if there's supposed to be an injury or a knock, not sure he came from the challenge from Salim. It looked more cleaner than you would expect for a central defensive midfielder.
Aban has been taken off for treatment as we inch closer to the end of the first half here at the TNA Stadium in Takwa. Confirmation of how Medeama have dominated possession with 65% and Bechem United clawing 35.
It's a fair reflection of the game. Has been Medeama all through, but failing to work goalkeeper Esiedu a lot more. He's been more liberated than his outfield players, and I'm not sure that is what Medeama want to see. If you want to get a goal, test the goalkeeper.
It's 45 minutes already here in Takwa. Match day 11 of the Ghana Premier League. We're doing 4 additional minutes as indicated by fourth referee Franklin Akumate. Fuzi delivers, headed away by Amankwa. There's a foul against Medeama's Fuzi Taylor, and he gets yellow carded for bringing down Emmanuel Ano in that cynical manner, and that's the first yellow card. Fuzi Taylor.
Fuzi knew exactly what he was doing, stopping Aban right there. He couldn't have allowed him to continue making that run. And on any day, coming from behind, it's always going to attract a yellow card.
Confirmation of the yellow to Fuzi. Ano. Baba is up against Abdul Salam. Here is Adam Sanout. Brilliant play from Adam Sanout. But he gives away the ball to Kamara Dini, who wins the throw-in now. At the Aliyu Mahama Stadium in Tamale, is Karela leading Basekioli Stars by 1-0. Goal scored by Philip Adom. At the TNA, second minute of additional time is Medeama 0, Bechem 0.
The results from Tamale isn't surprising at all. Karela have been pretty much decent this season. Their home ground, would expect them to be winning most of the points in the games they play.
Salam. Mubarak had a struggle to keep that one in. It's a corner. Amankwa had the final touch after that head killing by Jack Basu.
It's so easy to give away a corner kick, especially in this minute of the game.
Prince Owusu to take the corner for Prince swings one to the far post, and again it's Esiedu with some commanding goalkeeping. And Ano will take charge. It's a handball against the Bechem United winger. Clearly spotted by Rustum Senogbe.
Brave goalkeeping there from Esiedu, but Ano couldn't continue that chase. Ball bouncing off awkwardly right onto his arm. He clearly had the intent of playing with the arm.
So that yellow card to Fuzi was the second this season. He got yellow carded when Medeama lost to Karela away in Tamale. Card away from suspension, Fuzi. Owusu delivers. Corner for Medeama. Ball coming off a free air. We're into the final seconds of stoppage time to wrap up the first half. It's Medeama with what could probably be the last action of the afternoon. A corner to be taken by Fuzi.
It's a moment you need to keep your concentration. Should be very high.
Fuzi takes to the near post. Amankwa heads it out for another corner to Medeama.
It's a decent whip.
And Fuzi takes one this time to the far post. Good goalkeeping again by Esiedu. And Sakite will take charge. Aban. Good play from Aban. But Amu Mensah shows great intelligence to win the ball, but he's giving it away to Bechem again. Amankwa gets it away. Calmly collected by Boa. Frank Amankwa gets it away for Bechem United. Aban is trying to pick out Yawano. Fuzi can't just get a ball away from Ano. Chance for Bechem United. Nearly found the back of the net. Ano just before the break. So close. Medeama very lucky.
Wow, that was very dangerous there. Medeama leaving too much space, too much time. Poor decision making there from Paul Yeboah. But thanks to Salim, putting pressure and preventing Ano from hitting the target.
It's half-time at the TNS Stadium in Takwa. The league leaders, Medeama, been held to a pulsating goalless drawn game here. After the first half in Takwa, Medeama have been the better of the two sides, dominating possession at 65, but failing to create decent scoring chances. Bechem United have not given a bad account of themselves. Half-time at the TNA Stadium. Medeama Sporting Club 0, Bechem United 0. No goals scored, 2 shots for Bechem, 1 for Medeama, none on target for both sides. And Medeama clearly dominating with 70% of the possession. And guess what? They had as many as 7 corner kicks to wrap up the first half here in Takwa. Half-time, Medeama 0, Bechem United 0.
It's goalless at the break here at the TNA Park between Medeama and Bechem United. Medeama have had the lion's share of possession, but it was Bechem United that got the clearest opportunity and could have snatched this one before the first half whistle had gone. I'm here with the assistant coach of Bechem United, Malam Yaya. Malam, I mean, your team has been able to keep it very tidy and steady at the back. You had a last-minute opportunity which you could have scored. I saw your reaction on the bench. I mean, how did he miss that one?
Yeah, I was even wonder the ball was not in the net, but it is football. I think the Medeama was playing very good football, but our strategy was also working. So
now,
the draw, the first half goalless draw, is not a.
Well, you have another 45 minutes to play. Would you go with the same strategy or something has to change?
Yeah, we came here to take point 3 or 1 point. So this is the strategy we are going to use it to use the counter to maybe have a 1 goal or maybe draw. So
all right,
it's a very good strategy.
All right, thanks very much.
We are dependent on the strategy and the same thing we are going to play.
Well, let's see what happens in the second half. Malam Yaya is the assistant coach for Bechem United. I will be joined shortly by the assistant coach of Medeama, Pius Gura. Pius, I mean, you've dominated this game, had the lion's share of possession, but you've not created clear-cut chances. What is really happening?
Yeah, I think the game has been, like you said, we're having the lion's share of the possession, and then we're doing good. But then I think we lacking the cutting edge or the finishing edge at the in and then around the box, which they also defended the zone 14 very well. And then notwithstanding the fact that apart from we've not seen a clear creating chances. But then we still keeping on to knock the door, of which we know they're going to open the door for us.
What needs to change? Would you change the strategy going into the second half, or you change a few of the personnel?
Well, we only need to. The personnel will continue like this, but then we only need to, have 1-2 changes as far as our mid section of the pitch is concerned, the movement of the trial, and then also how to, dominate or the progress in the mid-third of the pitch.
Okay, thanks very much. I wish you all the best going into the second 45 minutes. Pius Gura is the assistant coach of Bechem United. A big one there. And we would actually be doing the first half analysis together with Vondi there. So we'll take a quick breather here on... Okay, so there's an award presentation, I'm being told, where we would have Medeama's Emmanuel Ousu being presented with an award, and we are being told that he is Medeama's player of the month, and that is why the fans are actually awarding him. But Bismarck Vondi is standing by as we will be delving deep into the first 45 minutes. It's been an extremely interesting game here. Medeama having the lion's share of possession, but it is goalless at the break. Nothing to separate the two sides. That shot from Salim just flew over the crossbar. It could have given the Miners the lead. But as it stands, it is Bechem United who will be happier of the two sides. Kamaruddin Mahmoud also coming closer. His shot being parried there by the goalkeeper. Goalless here between Medeama and Bechem United. It's match day 11, and this is how we start. Live on TV3 and on Your TV, powered by Adisa Production Limited. We'll take a quick breather. When we return, Vondi is here to analyze the first 45 minutes. Premier League here at the TNA Stadium. Medeama and Bechem United, the first half ended goalless, nothing to separate the two sides, even though the Miners have been very dominant in this one. My name is Mutala Yakubu here with Von D. I mean, it's been an interesting first 45 minutes, but the most important statistics in football is goals, and we've not had any in this one.
Yes, Mutala, it has been a very emotionally filled first half with this particular game that we just witnessed the first half. And I mean, kudos to Coach Kobina-Misa. The defense has been very, very resolute. You know, I was of the view that coming out in the first half, Medeama was going to get, I mean, at least a goal or two in the first half. But then Bechem United too has also made sure that at the end of the day, they are just going to keep the nets very safe and to prevent Medeama from scoring. You know, when we began this particular conversation, I was of the view that talking about the fact that Bechem United has considered 10 goals in all the 5 games that they've played away, it was going to be a smooth passage for Medeama Sporting Club. But you can see there's a fingerprint of Coach Kobina-Misa on the boys. You can see how, talking about the likes of Baba Moro, Abdullah has been keeping the defensive very, very well, very resolute against Medeama Sporting Club. I believe if Kai is not taken, I wouldn't be very much surprised if Bechem United gets a point in this particular game.
It looks like the Achilles heel for this Medeama team this season has been teams that go with a low block, teams that want to be conservative and defend. Medeama have found it very difficult to break them down. I saw that game against Swedro Blacks, I saw Samatex, and today, clearly, as Malam Yaya said at halftime, they came with a strategy to defend and counter-attack, and Medeama are not having answers to that.
Yeah, it is true. When we're talking about one of the few people who knows this Medeama team inside out, that it is Malam Yaya. He has been in Takwa for quite a very long period before maybe doing something else somewhere. And talking about the fact that Bechem United defending this kind of low blocks, Medeama Sporting Club just need that one particular player who can, I mean, just hold on to the ball, just dribble past 1 or 2 players, and then make sure he just does the ball to the upfront players just to make sure they get the goal. But then that is not forthcoming. Manuel Mante is missing so much in this particular game. Fuzi Taylor, the passes are well going forward, but then that particular schema, that particular poster boy who can carry the ball forward is what is missing in this particular game for Medeama Sporting Club. So I believe in the second half, Coach Ibrahim Tanko, maybe he'll be very fortunate to bring on Emmanuel Owusu, because he's one of the few people who can do that.
Emmanuel just received an award from the fans in a few minutes' time. But there's been a lot of chances in this game, half chances, I must say, for Medeama. That free kick from Salif flying over the crossbar. We also saw Kamaradini Mahmoudou with that shot, which was parried by goalkeeper Benjamin Kwasi.
Yes, very well. Talking about Kamaradini Mahmoudou, he's one of the few players who, whenever he picks his footballing boots, all the Medeama Sporting Club team seems to move forward. That was last season and last 2 seasons. This season, the onus fell on Calvin and Nkrumah to do that particular thing, and Calvin is doing the job so well, though. But then Bechem United have made sure they've created an overload at the left side of the flanks for Medeama Sporting Club, and it is creating problems for Medeama Sporting Club with Kevin Nkrumah at that side of the pitch. So I believe in the second half, just like you rightly said, maybe Emmanuel Owusu, after getting this particular award from the supporters, will come in the second half and then make sure he just pull up for Medeama Sporting Club. If nothing of this sort happens, I believe Bechem United might be very fortunate to go away with a point over here.
It looks like the two Owusus for Medeama, I'm talking about Prince and Kelvin, have a similar profile. They don't like to cross the ball. Both of them want to catch onto their favorite foot and take the shot. And they've starved the likes of, God knows, Jakwasu and Salam, of services. It is really affecting Medeama.
Yeah, one of the weakest links for this Medeama team in this particular game is Prince Owusu, the player who just joined the Black Stars in the last couple of games that the Black Stars played.
He's not really come to life in this one.
Exactly, Butala, exactly. At the right flanks, he's not pulling up. Looking at what Kevin Nkrumah is doing at the left flanks, we expect same from Prince Owusu at the right flanks, but he's not doing that thing. It got to a point that I felt he's looking very tired. And I don't know whether it's due to the fact that he traveled this long distance from far away Asia to this particular town or something. I can't even really tell. But in the second half, I expect him to pull up. even though he didn't give us an splendid performance in the Black Stars game, I expect him to give us that particular touch in this game against Bechem United, but he's not forthcoming.
For Bechem, Kwabna, Emisa, there's not going to be a change in system. They are going with the same strategy of sitting deep and trying to counter-attack Medeama. So what needs to change for the Miners? They have quite a number of players on the bench. The likes of Manuel Mante, the likes of Nanako Fibabo are all on the bench. Emmanuel Usu, who just received
definitely Emmanuel Usu. Either Emmanuel Usu, Prince Usu is being shifted to the number 10 role, playing behind the striker, or he takes him off and then bring him either Manuel Mante or Nana Kofi Babel. And I believe these players are ball carriers who can, just maneuver their way around one or two players and then make sure they feed the attackers with the needed balls. Putala.
Mubarak Yusuf just returned into the Medeama squad. How would you, rate his first half performance?
Very, very, very solid. With Mubarak Yusuf, there's no question about his capabilities, especially in defense. The first two, three games that he played for Medeama Sporting Club at this same venue, he was very, very solid until that injury that, prevented him from playing the rest of the matches. And then he's back to the fold, sitting the likes of Richie Saki at the bench. I believe he's been very solid as not even as a player alone, but as a leader on the field of play.
Of course, and Medeama players are already out onto the pitch. They are in the huddle at the moment having a meeting. I'm sure the meeting is about how do we get the 3 points. Second half coming up very shortly. As I said, Mano Mante is on the bench, Nanako Fibabo, Risaki, Mano Usu, Henry Nyako, Yawase are all on the bench for Medeama. For Bechem, they can also call on Dennis Mensah. Augustin Okra could come in and make a difference.
Definitely, I believe he's going to be the hidden agenda for Bechem United, because sometimes when you get some of these big boys at the bench, they'll just study the game. When they come on, they know exactly what the coach is expected of them. And then I believe when Augustin Okra come onto this pitch, as experienced as he is, Medeama are going to suffer.
Quick one, who wins this one?
Muta, it is a very, very close call.
Well,
very, very close.
Let's see what happens.
At the end of the day, Medeama will definitely take the 3 points, but it wouldn't come very easier for them.
Well, let's see if Medeama can snatch all the 3 points, because Bechem have been very solid in the first 45 minutes. So back to the commentators, Nana Dakwa Jesse and Kelvin Owusu Ansah.
Welcome back for second half at the TNA Stadium in Takwa. It's a match day 11 of the Ghana Premier League between Medeama Sporting Club, the league leaders, and Bechem United. It's Bechem who gets us going for second half action as Frank Amankwa kicks off for second half. Medeama were unable to translate their dominance into goals. Back from recess, Ibrahim Tanko would want his charges to step up and do better. For Bechem United, they seem to have defended well and look composed. And they've had dangerous situations involving the likes of Yawano and then Sakite, and Medeama will be mindful of the upset that Bechem will be aiming at.
Well, Bechem, knowing that Medeama haven't really asked lots of questions that could pose threat, will be coming out to try ask a lot more on their own in the second half. They'll be glad to go with a point, but also know that they have some loose ends. They can sting Medeama if they pull up their weight a little bit more in attack. Should be quite interesting to see how the battle will unfold in this half, where Medeama cannot afford to drop points in their title chase.
Medeama have dropped points on just one occasion at this venue this season. They drew against former champions Samatex in a game they equally dominated and created chances but failed to score. Also finds Salam. Owusu wants it back and he gets it again. Here's Prince Owusu. He wants to shoot, creates the space. Salam gets it, but Bechem will take possession. Isaiah Nyako brought down by Fuzi, and Fuzi must be careful. He's already on a yellow card.
That was poor play there between Prince Owusu. Couldn't communicate with Salam, who was going to pick up that ball. Once it fell to Isaiah Nyako, he had to keep it for his team. Very good control. Fuzi once again committing the foul.
Prince Owusu picks up Fuzi. Fouled by Sakite. Bechem United will protest, but Senogbe insists it's a foul.
Clever touch there in the 10 there from Fuzi, but you could clearly see there was an initial pull of Fuzi's jersey. Good call by Rustum. Fuzi trying to pull the strings together. It's only a little bit of his over elaboration that has impacted negatively on his game today.
Salim tries to pick out Kamara Dini with a cutback, and Sanut had to be there to defend for Bechem United. Quick thinking from Salim Adams and Kamara Dini Mahmoudou.
That was very intelligent play there from Medeama, making sure they found that loose end. Quick pass in there, Kamara Dini, the cutback. Mubarak was late to that. Credit to Sanut. Once again, that was a heavy hit. There was no way Calvin Nkrumah, despite his pace, was going to latch onto that.
Ibrahim Tanko, recently rewarded with the Fans Coach of the Month of October following Medeama's amazing run in the Premier League. 7 straight games without a single defeat for the Mauve and Yellow. Here is Kelvin Nkrumah. He's got space in front of him. Nkrumah wants to check out to create the space and drive. He goes down. Referee's not interested in any call. Ano stopped by Salim. Yeboah takes over, but he goes down from the challenge of Dalvin Yeboah.
That was a late challenge there from Dalvin Yeboah. Clever there from Paul Yeboah. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Quick to the ball. And it was brought down by his man. Dalvin falling right there in the process. He's trying to do his best every now and then, supporting Nkrumah. But that hasn't been enough for Medeama to get the opener.
Nyako tries to set up Yawano. The first time control is good, but he's got to beat Amu Mensah. Clever defending from the centre back. He plays with so much confidence and calmness, Amu Mensah.
Enough patience to cleverly read what the attacker wanted to do and easily picked it up with no fuss.
Jakosu, Kamara Dini, Prince Owusu, Fuzi. Over elaboration on the part of Fuzi, but he's won the sympathy of Rustum Senogbe. But he could have done it a simple way, Fuzi.
Has been liberated by Rustum. I think right there you could understand. It was a bat with an elbow into him.
Substitution for the home side, Medeama. God knows Jack Pasu is making way for Henry Nyako. More bite into the attack for Medeama. Jack Pasu has had a very decent game.
It was a little bit quiet, more quiet than usual. And I'm sure you need a lot more fire up front, a lot more trouble from a player who can add some bit of energy into the game.
Salim Adams and Prince Owusu would want to test the Seydou with this one. It will be Salim. It is Salim. He drives one and he says with his body, can this be the first goal? And Nkrumah has missed. Glorious opportunity. How about that drive from Salim Adams and the way Seydou improvised to save the situation? That was a thunderbolt.
That was brilliantly hit there by Salim. Goalkeeper had to quickly improvise, and it came off his chest, but that wouldn't have counted.
Anyways, because the flag was up,
Yeah.
up for offside against Kamara Dini Mahmoudou.
He moved too quickly, and it's quite surprising knowing that the head will come from Salim. There's no need moving that quick. Kamaradini. That's the man with a bullet of a strike. You can equally credit the goalkeeper, Asiedu. The ball just pounced on him.
He didn't see coming.
And he had to block it with his chest.
Sakite looking for Aban. He beat Samu Mensah to it. It's an awkward clearance from Yeboah, but Felix Che will come to their rescue and grab it firmly.
It's quite interesting what sort of technique Yeboah wanted to make that clearance with. But thankfully, he has a goalkeeper who reads the game better.
Here is Abdul Salam. Great movement. Now Fuzi. Good ball to the right hand side. Henry Nyako. Up against Sanud. Now Prince Owusu. Salim wants it. Owusu hangs on it. Mubarak Yusuf. Amu Mensah. All in the half of Bechem United. Oh my. Yeboah just unable to control that ball.
Well, it's been some sort of rough start for him in the second half. Some more court clearances, inability to control the ball. And it's easily killing the momentum for the home team. Ibrahim Tanko wouldn't want to be seeing this consistently. It's allowing Bechem that freedom to calm the attack that is coming from Medeama.
Aban. Lovely movement. Good tackle from Mubarak.
You always need a soldier, an experienced one, and that is what Mubarak is offering this Medeama SC team, despite their defensive frailties.
And he combines that with exceptional leadership and commanding respect from everyone around this Medeama team. One of the most experienced players to be brought in the fold.
He's seen it all when it comes to the local game. And that was a late challenge there. Henry Nyako wanting to be an instant head, but Foster was not going to allow him.
Foster Sakite is injured on the pitch, and there's double trouble for him because he gets yellow carded by Rustum Senogbe.
That was always going to be a yellow card offense, coming from behind to badge it to his man. He knew that Henry was advancing cleanly.
That's the high spirit morale support base of Medeama. They call themselves the high spirit support base, and these are Leo Taco fans who are growing into love with Medeama. These days, they've brought together the fan base, and why they are performing this season under Ibrahim Tanko is how the fans have regained their confidence. Medeama might just win another silverware this season.
And you know one interesting thing about them? They move from the opponent's goalpost to the other side anytime there is halftime and a switch offsides.
Fuzi delivers. Kamaradini rises and gets something on it, but Amu Mensah is arriving late for that one. Is a goal kick.
That was a very decent delivery, though Hankin could have worked the ball better to try and hit the target. But can credit our champion for pressure in ensuring that that ball wasn't hit on target.
Salim Serra. Kamaradini is trying to pick out Nkrumah. "55 minutes, Medeama nil, Bechem United nil." Free kick, Bechem United.
A bit of a frustrating start to the second half football, Yeboah.
It's not happening for him in the second half.
Yeah, clearly misplaced passes, poor control, giving the ball away. And once again, finding it very difficult to deal with Ano.
Free kick. Aban to take. He scored against Medeama last season. He sends one in. Prince Owusu hands possession to Bechem United. Isaiah Nyako to Amankwa, but Kamara Dini wins possession and finds Henry Nyako. Prince Owusu. Salim Adams can't get to Nkrumah. Well defended by a free air. Aban is trying to thread one through for Yawano. Salam is up against the champon, and Salam does well to win the ball from the center back. He's all over him, and Amankwa is lucky he didn't concede a foul.
Well, I think that was too leisure and casual from Salam, knowing his body strength. Opon was waiting for Nkrumah was waiting for that ball.
Prince Owusu. Henry Nyako is offside. He should be cutting in and anticipating a drive.
It's quite surprising he didn't go for that option. He has that strength, he has that ability to hit the ball from that position. And he also has the skill to outwit when players engulf him. It's quite surprising he decided to take that option. It was a bit late, and Nyako had already stepped into his bike.
Bechem United trying to create a chance of their own. Here is Ano, but he doesn't get it right. Nyako.
So lots of poor decision making in the final third for both teams. They managed to have beautiful build-ups, but once they get into the final third, it's quite awful the decisions they make.
We've hit the hour mark already. It's 60 minutes in Takwa. Medeama, nil. Bechem United, nil. Here is Yaboa. Now Nkrumah going through the middle. Kelvin Nkrumah, good movement from Nkrumah, hanging on to possession. Thinks he overdid that one on that occasion, Nkrumah.
But I can also credit the very good Bechem United defense, pushing him far away from central attacking position, sending him wide.
No problems for Esiedu and Bechem United as Medeama try what they can to unlock this Bechem United side this afternoon.
Nkrumah knew it was getting tighter and too difficult for him to run through. He was looking forward to hitting Ekela.
Sakite, the Bechem United winger, has gone down again. The way his colleagues have circled around him gives an impression that it's not looking good for the winger.
Clearly, could see he fell down to a challenge earlier, and it was quite difficult for him to continue the game right after getting onto that tackle. He felt a bit of pain.
So it's been a very physical contest with both teams trying to exert the authority in a physical manner, and this one from Mubarak was something else. Salim came in with this brilliant and fair one. Also trying to get to Nkrumah and Esedu again steps up for United.
That was so close to the goalkeeper. The intent was clear, looking for the run of Nkrumah.
Amu Mensah doesn't give Aban any breathing space, throwing Bechem United. Throw-in taken by Efriye. Dalvin Yeboah has been quiet this second half. Bechem United's number 9.
There's been quite a physical battle between Yao Champo and Abdul Salam.
Baba trying to pick out Sakite.
It's quite interesting that after all the knocks, Sakite is back onto the pitch.
Henry Nyako swings in across. Nobody's arriving for Medeama as Efriye heads it to safety for a corner to Medeama.
You can see that decision from Henry Nyako wasn't appreciated. Too high for Salam. Kelvin Opo wanted a cutback. Should have waited a bit more to make a more prudent decision.
Medeama's corner taken. Esedu gets a fist on it. Yawano will step away, obstructed by Prince Owusu. Unfair challenge according to the referee Rustum Senogbe. Free kick Bechem United. He was clearly obstructed by Owusu. Very deliberate foul.
It was quite a rash challenge there from Owusu, barging into his man. Could have probably just kept him on a chase for that ball, and Nkrumah would have helped him. That attack gone waste, and Bechem can have a breather.
Fuzi. Sanut to Sakite. But Henry Nyako takes possession from Medeama and quickly finds Prince Owusu. Nyako is doing the run down the right-hand side. Owusu hangs on to possession. He wants to create the space and drive, but he sets it back for Salim. Back to Owusu. Here is Fuzi. Nkrumah. Owusu trying to work their way virtually into the 18-yard box of Bechem United Medeama.
It was quite interesting why they wanted to go through an array of bodies from Bechem United who were closely organized together in front of their penalty area. There's no way they're going to allow you to fly through easily. A bit more quick thinking and movement of the ball from Medeama could do them some good.
Fuzi. Kelvin Nkrumah. Yeboah. Fuzi goes down. Referee says game on. No foul, no penalty. And Bechem will turn the heat on Medeama. Amu Mensah again will step up and clear the danger from the advancing Yawano.
If that was a dive, then I'm sure Fuzi would have been let go. And look at that pass from Paul Yeboah. He played it right through, making a very beautiful pass with his right foot. Fuzi controlled, looked like a step right there on his foot. If it wasn't a penalty, then that should have been a yellow card. But clearly you could see there was a stamp there, a bit of a stamp right on his foot.
Aban. He wants to drive one in. It took a deflection of a yellow shirt. And it's a corner for Bechem United.
That was quite interesting there from Aban. He found his way through, opened up space, and he had to take Mensah with a block, even though that ball wouldn't have gone on target.
Double substitution for Bechem United. Yawano is going off together with Foster Sakite, and they'll be replaced by Dennis Mensah and the experienced Augustin Okra, respectively.
Well, this experience Augustin Okra is expected to reach some magic in this final moment of the game, and he has that ability to do that. Let's not forget his magical corner kick to goal he scored recently. His first contribution is going to be a corner kick.
He scored from a direct corner kick in their last game against Young Apostles, Augustin Okra. He's got a technique to deliver, and he delivers to the near post, and this time it's blocked by Kamara Dini. Kelvin Nkrumah, he just overruns the ball outside for a throw. Very uncharacteristic of Nkrumah.
Poor concentration there from Nkrumah and losing out on that attack.
Fuzi. Nkrumah looking for Salam, stopped by the centre-back, Yahweh Champon, who has done a good job on Abdul Salam this afternoon. Isaiah Nyako, stopped by Fuzi. Salim Adams, Fuzi Taylor. Onto the right, and he finds Kamara Dini Mahmoudou. Bechem United's Frank Amankwa was down, and so referee halted play only for him to get up, and Senogbe is asking for the throw-in to be retaken. Fuzi, Owusu, and Mubarak Yusuf loses possession. Aban, stopped by Fuzi. There's a good tackle from Fuzi. Now here is Salim Adams. He's bust the midfield this afternoon, Salim. He's dominated in all of those charges he's gone in with. Nkrumah's cross, again, commanding goalkeeping. Brilliant goalkeeping from Esiedu.
But I think he's been very decent, Nkrumah, with a very good whip, but once it's closer to the goalkeeper's area, he's virtually come for all the balls that has fallen into his territory. I expect some cutbacks or some better whips with much more power and pace.
Augustin Okra goes past Yaboa. This is when he can be influential. He sends in a cross, and Felix Che dives and gets a hand on it. And Fuzi gives the ball away right in the penalty box. Here is Amankwa for Bechem United. Now Sanut. But Henry Nyako does well to retrieve possession and wins a foul in the process.
Once again, as Bechem United in snippets of the game, making sure that they ask questions from Medeama. Augustin Okra, a player they always look forward to some magic. He got past Mensah with his right foot, not his favorite one, whipped in that delivery, but Felix Shea, whatever call to the party, Fuzi nearly given it away.
Prince Owusu, the Black Stars player of Medeama, is stepping out. He'll be replaced by a namesake, Emmanuel Owusu. There's Kingsley Braye, who also comes in to replace Fuzi Taylor. So what Ibrahim Tanko is doing is very clear. He's pushing as many as 5 attackers in search of the opening goal in the last 19 minutes of this game. It will be interesting how he strikes the balance between ensuring he keeps a defensive shape that prevents Bechem United from getting undue advantage in their final third. So here Bechem United steps up.
It looks like Emmanuel also is going to play just a little bit ahead of Salim Adams, and then Kingsley Braye will join that attack.
It's a handball against Dalvin Yeboah. The move looked promising until that outstretched arm by Yeboah.
And look at that delivery, clever. It's quite surprising now he decided to go in with his left arm to control the ball. Poor decision there from Dalvin Yeboah. And as you can see, it's quite unfortunate in there. Kelvin Nkrumah coming up with some pain.
Injury concerns for Kelvin Nkrumah. Ibrahim Tanko would not be happy if Nkrumah is unable to continue. He might just have that creative spark amongst those leading the attack to conjure some magic for Medeama.
There's a lot more these two teams have to do if they want to find a goal and the ultimate match winner, especially for Medeama, the home team. Lots of dominance in this game, but the final decision making, the final balls, the chances they are creating haven't been too clear-cut. And that is the question they need to resolve. You can see Fuzzy played, sat out, but giving so many balls away. Well, the mantle has fallen on Owusu and Braye, who came on to try execute some magical piece of play for them.
Another foul. Bechem United have the advantage. Dennis Mensah coming into the game in the last 10 minutes, hoping to impact positively. It's over at Tamale Sports Stadium, and Karela have beaten Holy Stars by 3-2. Karela have shown some dominant performances in Tamale. Don't forget, they remain the only side to beat Medeama in this season's Premier League. Coached by a Premier League winner in Nuruddin Amadou. What this means is that they will climb to a respectable and a better position on the league log. Okra up against Yeboah. He's since taken the armband. A free as delivery. Aban gives away possession.
It's not just Medeama, but poor decision making and lack of bite up front.
A quarter of an hour mark to 90 minutes, and it's goalless between Medeama and Bechem United at the TNA in Tarkwa.
That's quite surprising that the final decisions in the last third of the pitch from both teams hasn't been Bechem, have been suspect to the burst of pace of Augustine Okra. You could see how disappointed he was that Dalvin Yeboah couldn't keep up that ball for an attack.
Here is Kelvin Nkrumah up against the free air. Very tricky and difficult to stop. Now Salim with a space to drive. Takes the deflection, and Medeama have a corner.
Salim once again opening up space for himself. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. That drive was heading on target until Baba Mora Abdullahi put his body on the line for that deflection.
Corner Medeama. Time to figure out how to stop Medeama. Emisa and Malam Yaya having a tete-a-tete on that bench. Emmanuel Owusu's ball is very, very disappointing. That's unlike him.
That's quite disappointing. And he asks yourself questions. That's not what you would want to see from him. Let's not forget that he's playing against his former side.
The desperation and the eagerness to show them what they are losing after his exit seem to be taking a toll on him, Emmanuel Owusu.
He needs to be consistent. He needs to command that position.
Nkrumah. gives away possession. Isaiah Nyako to Okra. That win for Karela brings them to the 8th spot of the Premier League.
And that is quite impressive.
Bechem United with a chance. Here is Sanout. He shoots and just missing the post by Whisker. Medeama exposed at the back by Bechem United and nearly conceded the opening goal.
Ball given away once again cheaply in midfield. That was clever there from Bechem.
The ball seemed to have bounced off the hand of Dalvin Yeboah.
Yeah, and that early attack. Once again, a chance gonna beg and not even working the goalkeeper. Off target. How do you score? How do you register a goal if you cannot work the goalkeeper?
Kingsley Braye. Henry Nyako. Swings in across. Salam is rising, but Esiedu rises higher and plucks it firmly for Bechem United.
It's quite surprising. Medeama don't want to change their approach. If they want to go down the right and left and whipping these crosses, Esiedu has shown clearly that he's always going to command those situations. And that was an example of how dominant he's been.
Emmanuel Alban has been flagged offside as Rustum signals for another substitution. Nana Kofi Bebel comes in to replace Abdul Salam. There's no happen for Salam in today's game. Nana Kofi Bebel scored the winning goal for Medeama when they beat 11 Wonders last week at the University of Ghana Stadium. In that game, he came off the bench and got them the winner. Is it going to be a second week lucky? Here is Bebel. Now Nkrumah, who was missing in that game last week, swings in across. Esiedu onto it again. 80 minutes in Takwa, 10 more minutes to go. No goals between Medeama and Bechem United.
Good decision making there from Ibrahim Tako. He's realized the striker being bullied. Now Braye takes the central attacking position. Kofi Bebel will join Nkrumah down the left-hand side to overload that area to see if they can create more goal-scoring opportunities from that end.
So Bebel plays through the middle. Kingsley Braye from the right side. Occasionally he drops to the middle. And Salim Adams joins the attack. Here is Kamal Dini. He's giving away the ball. And the captain, Mubarak Yusuf, comes in with a strong challenge. Amu Mensah. Mubarak Yusuf. Henry Nyako. Sanout with some commanding defending.
That was very combative there from Mubarak. He's really fought and soldiered for his team today.
Substitution for Bechem United. Dalvin Yeboah is making way for Kofi Tompo. Kofi Tompo started last weekend in Bechem in that 2-0 win over Samatex. But he comes off the bench in the last 9 minutes to take off Dalvin Yeboah. So Tompo in, Yeboah out.
What Emisa is trying to do is to just shut up shops now. A midfielder for a striker.
Henry Nyako looks for space to shoot and it just rises above the goalpost into the skies for a goal kick.
That was a good chance he created for himself there. Execution, lacking accuracy and precision. You'd have expected him to try fine. Bebel, Braye and Nkrumah who were lurking in and around the penalty area. He decided to focus on his instinct, but the execution wasn't perfect.
Salim gives away possession. Nyako. Tompo is a good turn from Tompo. He's got Augustin Okra on his right-hand side. Back to Tompo. Emmanuel Owusu takes charge for Medeama. Good ball to Henry Nyako. Braye is trying to get in the middle. Nyako hangs on to possession, switches to Kelvin Nkrumah. And Nkrumah sends in a cross, a header by Braye, and it misses the post by inches. Medeama coming so close. Kingsley Braye with a perfect opportunity.
That was a very good attack there from Medeama AC. Played it right onto Nyako, switch play, and the ball just got to Nkrumah. The best whip I've seen from him the second half. Braye, very good leap there, but misses the post by inches. You can understand why Esiro is angry at Babamoro. That was a free header for Kingsley Braye. Absolutely no pressure from him. He should have been able to hit the target.
Jacob Amumensa, his partnership with Mubarak Yusuf in central defense has been awesome this afternoon.
They've been brilliant. They've been more combative. Though there have been lapses of poor concentration and giving the ball away. But in overall, it's a decent game from the two.
That's a clumsy challenge from Adam Sanut on Henry Nyako. Nyako finds Kamara Dini Mahmudu, who swings in across. Kelvin Nkrumah gets the touch, but Okra will take it up for Bechem United. Kofi Tompo. A free. Aban, lovely play from Bechem United. Now they are making inroads into Medeama territory. Aban didn't succeed in going past Amumensa. Amumensa seemed to have gotten the final touch, but ends up as a goal kick.
The assistant referee was right there, and he saw the final ball coming off. Daring at a free. Can see lots of complaints in there.
85 minutes, 5 more minutes to go. It's a very poor challenge from Isaiah Nyako, deserving. He just clattered into Emmanuel Owusu. These two know themselves so well.
Can see the pat on his head clearly telling him, gentlemen, get up and let's continue playing. But that was deserving of a yellow card. He rushed in and lunged in with his left foot.
Braye, Nyako checks onto his left foot, sends in a cross. Salim leaves, gets something on it, but not productive enough to hand them the opening goal with 5 more minutes to go. Medeama 0, Bechem United 0.
A decent cross, a good leap, but less power behind that. Nyako with a twist and a turn. Once again, a hanging delivery coming on the back of Salim. You can understand why he wanted a corner kick, but that ball came off him.
Cross comes in, Seydou gets something on it. Mensah. Aban is stepping away. And Kamara Dini Mahmudu with a sliding tackle. Brilliant one from the right back.
Very brilliant one there. Very brilliant one from Nyako, stepping back to prevent Aban from continuing with that run. Kamara Dini caught upfield. Henry Nyako with enough strength and enough power in him had to chase the ball and clear it off for a throw-in.
Amumensa. So that tackle on Emmanuel Owusu seemed to have affected his fitness. He was limping and now he's completely gone down onto the pitch. Ibrahim Tanko must be frustrated at this point.
The coach is troubled. You can clearly see from his reaction. He's not a happy man. Player just came on, a substitute, and also knows they're chasing the game. He won't wait for the stretcher. He'll just hobble off the pitch for the game to continue. That's quite frustrating. The coach quickly needs to rethink.
No, you gave it to Kevin. Come on, that's what you did. Nyako. Adam Sanut coming under pressure from Braye. His clearance only as far as Amu Mensah. Calm control from the centre back. Here is Poya Boa. Kelvin Nkrumah. Salim Adams with a lovely dink to find Kamara Dini Mahmoudou. He's trying to pick out Kingsley Braye. Medeama trying to create an opportunity to get that much-needed goal. Here is Kelvin Nkrumah up against the free air, sending a ball, but well defended by Bechem, Kofi Tompo, Henry Mensah. Babil. Now Alban takes possession, but referee whistles. Decision goes in favor of Medeama Sporting Club, an area where Salim Adams will fancy his chances.
Very good play there from Kofi Babel, recovering quickly to make sure that that attack from Bechem United was stopped.
So confirmation of the earlier yellow card to Isaiah Nyako, and it wasn't Kelvin Nkrumah as earlier displayed.
Well, the captain for the first half of Bechem United has been really combative, making sure that defense is shielded very well. We haven't seen a lot from him constructively.
Salim steps up for this free kick, and Salim delivers, this time into the wall. Now onto the path of the winger. 7 minutes additional time, and Medeama will be thinking that this could be their moment to turn things around. For Bechem United, they do not want to drop their guard from now. Corner to be taken by Kelvin Nkrumah. He takes it to the near post. Kamara Dini Mahmoudou nearly scoring again. It is goalkeeper Isiedu rescuing Bechem United once again from that flick by Kamara Dini Mahmoudou. Good save, instinctive reaction from the goalkeeper.
That was a powerful header there from Kamara Dini Mahmoudou. Totally a man. He leaped very well to connect.
Another corner to be taken, but referee needs to ensure there's some calmness in that 18-yard box. Nana Kofi Babil having a confrontation with the Bechem United centre-back, a champion, and the goalkeeper, Isiedu. Corner for Bechem to defend. That's the confirmation of the additional time. We've done 90, and we're doing 7 minutes of additional time. Kelvin Nkrumah to the far post again, is defended by Kofi Tompo. Chance for Medeama, Braye. And Amu Mensah has ballooned it over the bar. Goal kick.
You can clearly see that is a defender's whip there. Good delivery. Coming to come once again. This time around, it was Kofi Tompo who got a header to that ball at a free air instead. But once it dropped, Braye's ball coming off Baba. Not the very best of how volleys you would want to see in the penalty area where you want to go.
Augustin Okra with a chance for Bechem United, and Okra is struck the upright, and Kamara Dini gets it away. Unlucky Augustin Okra. The closest Bechem United have come in this game, and Okra is in disbelief. He can't believe that he missed this glorious scoring opportunity, Augustin Okra.
Brilliant pass there from Aban. Augustin Okra right there, but you can understand, seemed to be a leg through there by Felix Shea. Seemed to have gotten a touch to that ball coming off the upright. Look at him, he's a bit dejected. If they were looking for any magical moment, he was a trusted man to deliver it.
Augustin Okra nearly silenced the TNA Stadium faithful supporting Medeama, and the pressure is not away yet. Corner taken, but it's not good enough. Kamara Dini, I thought, was allowing the ball to go outside for a goal kick, but he ends up having a touch on it for a corner.
That was poor decision making there from Kamara Dini.
Corner taken, here is Sanut. Now Alban swings one in. Felix Shea comes out for it. Emmanuel Owusu flicks it back. And you can tell that Emmanuel Owusu is not fully fit. He's still limping after that tackle on him. Sanut sends in a cross. Mubarak heads it down for Kamara Dini. He gets it away, but only as far as Frank Amankwa. He drives one from a distance, and it goes out for a goal kick.
That was poorly hit there by Frank Amankwa. But you can understand, he's a bit tired. He's worked his socks off. Now Bechem trying to cause some upset. But Medeama also looking forward to getting that goal. It's been an interesting second half, and the action gets more interesting.
Henry Nyako can't go past Sanut. Here is Alban for Bechem United. Throw in as we get into the last 4 minutes of stoppage time. No goals here. Last season when the two teams met, Medeama were leading by 3-1 at this point in the game, but Bechem United have come into this game with a well-rehearsed strategy that has not given Medeama so many goal-scoring opportunities. Emisa must have worked on this team well before facing the league leaders.
He's actually stifled Medeama's final decision-making, and goalkeeper Asiedu has been top.
Salim, Kelvin Nkrumah, he shoots from a distance, and it goes agonizingly wide for a goal kick.
There's no a day for Kelvin Nkrumah to hit the target, and that is summed up by this execution. He knew his body was well open to find the top right corner, but the accuracy wasn't going to be his man.
Esedu has played himself into trouble. He's had issues with Rustum Senugbe for time wasting. So goalkeeper Benjamin Esedu gets a yellow card for time wasting.
Clearly understand he would like to while away some time. He knows that they have a few minutes to walk away with a point from a dreaded ground.
Bechem United return to their fortress in Bechem next weekend to play against Hoho United at the Nanafosu Jiabo. And Medeama will have the pick of the pack against Asante Kotoko at the Babayara Stadium next weekend.
Well, this would be a good result for Bechem United to pile up some hope as they go back home. Looking forward to some resurgence under Koble Misa. But for Medeama, they wouldn't want this.
Nyako, stopped by Amankwa. No penalty, as the home fans eagerly hoping that Senogbe whistles in their favor. Here is Alban. To Mensah.
It's been a tiring game from Kamara Dini Mahmoudou, but that is not stopping him from executing his defensive duties.
Medeama will remain top of the Premier League. 1 point better than second place out of Lions ahead of tomorrow's round of matches. We're into the final seconds of stoppage time to wrap up this game. It will be Medeama's only second draw in 6 home games. Bechem will be the second team to stop them from winning here if it stays this way after Samatex did it in the early stages of the league.
That'll be 4 points lost at home. If you take it from a different angle too, and that is quite unimpressive because it keeps you still in sight of your assailants.
7 minutes of additional time up already here under the lights at the TNA Stadium this evening in Bechem. As Bechem United hang on to scoop a valuable away point from Takwa. This could be the last opportunity for Medeama to make something of this chance. And Yabua's delivery. Mubarak goes in for it. Kingsley Breyer's header. It's another brilliant save from Esiedu. Medeama fails to win for the second time at the TNA Stadium in Takwa. That notwithstanding, they still keep their place at the summit of the league log. Two coaches, Emisa and Tanko, exchanging pleasantries. It will be Bechem United who will be more excited with the outcome of the game. For them, it is a precious away point against the league leaders. For Medeama, it will feel like a defeat against the Hunters here.
Some bold decisions made by Kobina Misa, bold calls, and his players have executed to perfection. Quite disappointed that Medeama couldn't work their socks off to create lots more damning goal-scoring opportunities. It's a loss for them. It's more painful, and you can see from the reaction of the players, Bechem know this is a stepping ground for them, for their resurgence.
So he shows great goalkeeping, and he's been rewarded with gifts and cash from the fans. So that's the home fans showing appreciation from the great performance put up by the Bechem United goalkeeper this afternoon. He has been the showstopper here in Takwa under the lights of the TNA. Esiedu, he's been awesome.
And it's quite not surprising. Bechem have been producing some of the best shotstoppers in the league. From Idrisu Abdullahi, Prince Asempa, and now Benjamin Esiedu has stepped up. Fantastic showing here at the TNA.
Full time at the TNA Stadium in Takwa. League leaders, Medeama Sporting Club 0, Bechem United 0.
So Medeama have them puffed, but could not find the much-needed goal. This game ends goalless between Medeama and Bechem United to usher us into match 11 of the Ghana Premier League. My name is Mutala Yakubu. You're watching TV3. I've been joined by Coach Kwabena Emisa. Coach, this is a massive point on the road. First of all, how would you rate the performance of your boys this afternoon?
First of all, what I would say is they were tactically disciplined. Because we watch Medeama, we realize that they will play from the wings. So when we break the wings, which means they have nothing more done, they will resort to long balls. And long balls, we have the advantage. Because the attackers are facing with their back, whilst our defenders are facing with their front. So they see the ball well than their defenders. So we know that we hold the wings from them, and then we'll get the wing from them. They will no more do anything else.
Now, you could have had a lot more than just 1 point. That chance that fell to Augustine Okra, when he missed, I was looking at your reaction. I mean, if you are counting on anyone to score, Augustine is the first player that comes in mind. How did he miss that?
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. For the first time, I saw Okra missing such a good opportunity. And I confronted him after the match, and he told me he thought he have scored. But, you know, unless it enters the net, before you say you have scored. So what I would say is, though he missed the ball, but we felt his input. What he really put in, we like it.
Of course. Now, you've played 3 games with this team. Would you say that you are making progress with how the boys are responding to your system?
Gradually, as I told you earlier on, we are now understanding what we want them to do.
Okay.
And I would say Mangoko was fantastic this today. And from next week, I think there are certain corrections we will do. You know, most of our players also came from the national camp. So it's like what we taught them at the training, we have to refresh it before they will understand.
Okay, thanks very much, Coach Kwabena Emisa, the head coach of Bechem United. He came in for Desmond Isaboche, who has parted ways with the club, and today he's earned a point here against Medeama, who are league leaders. Coach Ibrahim Tanko, head coach of Medeama, has joined us. Coach, another point, a 2-point drop at home. I mean, first of all, how would you sum up the performance of your players this afternoon?
No, I think we have most of the ball, but I think the last bite was not there. And looking at how Bechem came, I mean, they came with plan. They came to play, I mean, all the men behind the ball and then go for counter. And it worked for them very well. I think we didn't have patience to finish our build-up and all this. But I think they did very well, and 1 point is better than none.
Now, first half, you didn't create enough chances. Second half, you created clear-cut chances. But goalkeeper, Benjamin Kwesi, what's the difference in the second half?
No, I think, like I said, we have most of the ball. Like I said, second half, we create a lot of chances. But, yeah, the keeper did very well. And like I said, the last bite was not there. So let's see. And we hope that next weekend will be better.
Of course. And there's a trend. It seems that you find it difficult to break teams that sit deep and defend. How are you going to work on that going into the rest of the season?
No, I think it's very simple. We have to make use of our chances. And when we create and you don't make it, definitely you give the opponent confidence to come back. And like I said, we have to be patient. We have to play our game till the end, and I hope that next week we'll have that.
Thanks very much, Coach Ibrahim Tanko, the head coach of Medeama, ruined their chances of getting that 3 points against Bechem United this afternoon. They drew goalless in this one. Not good for them, 2 points drop at home, but he says that he will take this one in good faith. For Kwabena Emisa and Bechem United, it is 1 point gain, especially against one of the best sides in the Ghana Premier League at the moment. But the most valuable player in today's game, Salim Adams, formerly of Heart of Folk, this time playing for Medeama. Salim, and the game the nice and more Drekaka at the Mamu. Meaning, sir, Munya chances, but I didn't want to mention.
Game need a challenge. If you are Sani Benyano, who say, I'm mobile, I'm a moment in Crown Center, Mujinachino, Mu defending. You dominate game in Naba, the Narazos games in the intimation in Idea. If I could show you the fear, you would observe about 20. Normal.
First half, no shade in your chances. Second half, no, there were a lot of chances. But goalkeeper Benjamin Kwesi, what did you say? I don't think and then went to win the game away.
Yeah, on my match, because Bob will have Kamara didn't head. I see also cash, but yeah, Charlie or higher power.
Yes, but drop 1 point to home. But over to back as a Medeama team, no more making progress. Oh, this year's Ghana Premier League.
Yeah, saying that face. Yeah, and Obia Umba, Obia, who said Charlie, born dominating. Game after game.
Salim, we wish you all the best. One of the best midfielders we have currently in the Ghana Premier League, currently playing for Medeama, formerly of Heart of Folk. And he's saying that they've made progress despite the fact that they've dropped 2 points at home and they'll continue to work hard. We take a quick breather here. When we return, Vondi will join me for the full-time analysis. So no goals to talk about here at the TNA Park. Yes, goalless between Medeama and Bechem United, but rather we saw some fantastic and terrific saves from goalkeeper Benjamin Akwesi of Bechem United. He's one of the reasons why we didn't have any goals in this one. Bismarck Vondi has joined me. Bismarck, I mean, Medeama stepped up the gear in the second half, but what a performance from goalkeeper Benjamin Kwesi.
Definitely, Mutala. Not just about the performance per se, but how beautiful they were, the saves and everything, Charlie. We just have to give it to Benjamin Kwesi, because had it not been him, I believe Medeama Sporting Club would have scored at least 3 goals in this particular encounter. And I believe the goalkeeper, he came to the party.
Of course, he was really in that party there, Benjamin Kwesi, ensuring that no ball enters the net of Bechem United. But it was an improved performance from Medeama in the second half as compared to the first, where they created little. This time, they created enough, but, I mean, the likes of Kelvin Osei could not bury the opportunities that came their way.
Definitely, it was an improved performance in the second half for Medeama Sporting Club, simply because of the substitutions Coach Ibrahim Tanko made, bringing on the likes of Babel, Emmanuel Osu, who later on got injured, and Nyako and the other players who also came to the party. I believe it was a very better performance.
So some of the highlights there on your screens, that free kick from Salim was stopped by goalkeeper Benjamin Akwesi. He had a terrific game in post for them. And at this point, Medeama thought they had opened the scoring because they had an opportunity where, with this particular incident, I want to talk about it. Was there a touch?
Definitely, there seems to be no touch, honestly, except that you could say the player fell to the ground very easily. There was no touch, to be honest. I don't see there to be a touch, and I believe the referee did take the right decision. And
referee Rostom Sanogbe was very close to the action, and he waved a play on for that one. Bechem United also came close and created some decent chances of their own. One particular opportunity that fell to Augustine Okra. Everyone in this stadium thought that had gone in.
That should have been the deal breaker for the team Bechem United, because that particular chance that Augustine Okra had, we believe, as experienced as he is, he would have made do with that particular, but he would have made the final touch very easily. But the woodwork and then the post, he was denied that particular goal. And I believe going forward, he would know what to do in the next game. Maybe if he's presented the same chance that he got in this game.
Medeama are struggling to break down teams who are very compact and are very conservative. How do they work on this? Because they have a lot of playmakers in their team, the likes of Kelvin, the likes of Prince Owusu, but they seem not to be able to break down teams like Bechem United.
Babe was one of the few players who I believe could have broken that particular jinx for the Medeama Sporting Club. But then I don't know what's happened. Maybe, but for the injury to Emmanuel Owusu, Medeama Sporting Club could have won this particular game. But you don't know. I believe at a point in time, Emmanuel Mante should have come on. But then the coach knows what the cards are for him, and then he brought on players like Emmanuel Owusu and Nyako at the wings. And he made some incisive passes where I believe the strikers could have made something positive out of it. But then it is football.
Of course, and this is that header from Kamaruddin Mahmoudou. The right back thought that he had scored because it was a beautiful header. And this is the opportunity we're talking about. Augustine Okra put through one-on-one with goalkeeper Felix Shea, and I'll bet my last coin that Okra would score this. Unfortunately, that ball came off the post.
The decision was a very right decision that Augustine Okra took. But then, it's just football, you know, anything could happen. And how he outwitted the goalkeeper is something that we need to study very hard as pundits. I mean, they're very, very sensational player. Look at the runs and then the final touch. Except that the woodwork, he was denied by the woodwork.
Of course. Now, this performance showed the progress that Bechem United have made so far under Coach Emisa.
Certainly, looking at the last 2 games under Coach Emisa, ever since he took the helm of affairs against Young Apostles, they lost by 3-2. They sat home, win against Samatex by 2-0, meaning for today too, they've been able to keep a clean sheet, meaning for the first time in 2 games consecutively, Bechem United have gone clean. Clean sheet in 2 games, and I believe it's a positive sign to Bechem United.
Well, it's ended here 0-0 between Medeama and Bechem United. 2-point job for the Miners, but they are still on top of the Ghana Premier League, and we will take solace in the fact that the other teams are yet to play. Teams like Heart of Lions will all be in action tomorrow. But tomorrow, there's more action for you from the University of Ghana Stadium, because Dreams FC would be in action, and that is a good one. They will be playing Sweden All Blacks. But these are the games that will be coming up. As you know, big games. Karela actually played and they also won against Baseke Holy Stars. But tomorrow, as I said, it is Dreams FC coming up against Sweden All Blacks. My name is Mutala Yakubu. I did this with Bismarck Von D, and this has been the Ghana Premier League match day 11 from the TNA Stadium. It ended Medeama 0 and Bechem United 0. From us here, the APO crew, we say have a good evening and see you tomorrow at 3 p.m.